Thank you, everyone, for assembling on such short notice. We're coming together right now as leadership in the House and leadership in the Senate Democratic Caucus to present an agreement that we have reached among us on several key issues, specifically 4 issues: the rainy day, the corporate kicker, the corporate minimum, and the inheritance tax. This agreement stems from the conversation that occurred on the House floor yesterday. Within a few hours of the conclusion of the debate, these members of the House and Senate were assembled in my office to discuss how we could bridge this gap that existed, that was apparent to everyone. We ought to be able to resolve the distance between the committee report yesterday and the minority report, and that to do so would greatly benefit the collective goals that we're pursuing to enhance the programs of this state. So that is all I have to say in an opening statement. I'll say one other thing, but then I'll be followed by President Courtney, and I'll be followed by Republican leader Wayne Scott in general statements, and then we'll have some folks presenting the details of this proposal to you. I do want to say that the conversations yesterday and today have been very focused on problem solving, on finding reasonable ways to bridge the divides on all the key subdivisions of the issues that we were addressing. Everyone came forward with their best thinking and proceeded to go through multiple versions of a plan until we reach the point that we can present this to you right now. So my hat is off to everyone coming forward, working very, very hard to address these issues. And so with that, I'll turn this over to President Courtney.
Well, thank you, Speaker. The negotiations that have taken place started around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon and concluded about an hour ago. And in my career as a legislator, as a negotiator, I don't ever recall an agreement of this magnitude being put together in such a short period of time. And all I can say is that we came into this room as Democrats and Republicans. We'll leave as Democrats and Republicans. But in these negotiations, each of us knew that we had to find a way to reach out to each other in a very difficult time in terms of revenue issues as well as structural issues, and we were able to do it. I have to give a great deal of praise to the Speaker. I want to give a great deal of praise to Wayne Scott, of course to Senator Brown, who works, she and I have been in so many negotiation sessions. I'm new to the Speaker. I'm used to Wayne, but I got to tell you, somewhere you have to be willing to give and give until it hurts. And each of us understood that. There are new people in this negotiating team, new to this process. Of course, Deckard has been around 100 years. But the other players here I'm new to. And we do have a difficult task. We have to go out from this building and get the votes, but we are confident that given the negotiations that have gone on, how they've gone on, as well as those that we've already talked to, that we can get there. So I think it's a good day for the institution. Most importantly, I think it's a good day for Oregonians. And with that, I guess I'll turn it over to Wayne, who, as they say, he's an interesting negotiator.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also would like to echo that we did assemble, and this agreement has been, in our opinion, will be a great thing for Oregonians, and that we will be able to bring some things forward to Oregonians that, frankly, have never been available to us in the past. And so, it was a very successful process, and for our state and our citizens, we think it will be very enhancing to everyone. And so, with that, I think Representative Hunt will start the details, and we will chime in various points and explain where we are.
And really, I think you'll see a lot in the approach we've taken of just trying to split the difference wherever we can, trying to bridge the gaps and find that common ground that unfortunately in politics is so often elusive. if you look at some of the components, and I think you all covered the debate on 2707, so are familiar with the committee report and the minority report. Just if you look at some of the elements, for instance, on the issue of interest came up on the floor. That actually was an issue where both minority report and committee bill were silent on the issue. We decided let's go ahead and make a commitment now that all the interest from a rainy day fund will go into the rainy day fund, since that's been a common commitment of us. In terms of an ongoing replenishment source, we actually took the version related to coming out of the ending fund balance that was in the committee bill. Related to how much you could extract from it, we actually took the version that was in the minority report, which allows only 2/3 to be extracted from the rainy day fund at any one time. In terms of the triggers to spend that money, we actually split the difference and came up with a compromise that will require a 3/5 vote in order to disperse money. Whether the economic triggers will still be in there, but it will still require a 3/5 supermajority vote of the legislature in order to access that money. Senator Deckard?
Well, to me, and I think the first thing that I would say is looking around this room, how long has it been? I look at Representative Berger and Representative Edwards and Representative Wisnett, and how long has it been since a group of legislators, there is no referral in this, we're talking more than the rainy day fund, we're talking about a omnibus package of items, budgetary, and as I look around, Mr. Speaker, Mr. President, Representative Scott, I do not remember this type of collection, this type of meeting, because everything in this is going to happen in this building, not on the ballot. The size of the rainy day fund, so just getting into the details, which are much less interesting than the fact that we have all come together, House and Senate, to agreement. The size of the rainy day fund is 7.5%. So that will grow Oregon's reserves very quickly. We're at 2% now, and they will grow very quickly to that magic 8%, which will be a $10 million tax cut in interest and credit rating for Oregonians immediately. So that'll be the first action. The one-time suspension of the corporate kicker. So that will be in, I believe, 2 bills is what we agreed to. So you will see a one-time suspension of the corporate kicker, and I will turn over the small business exemption to Leader Scott.
Yeah, the only thing that I would add, thank you, Senator Deckard, the only thing that I would add in the size of the rainy day fund, it will be in addition to the 5% in the
Yes, sir.
education fund. So it actually will be 12.5% total. We were able to come up with a decision on small business exemption. There will be a tax credit to small businesses of approximately $24.8 million based upon gross sales, which we think is extremely important to small businesses and how those funds will be re-injected and available and circulate back through the economy. So we're very pleased with that. Additionally, we have a corporate minimum tax that will be increased on C corporations. There is a range, several different categories, but the taxes will range in size from $25 up to $50,000 based upon Oregon annual sales. The inheritance tax will change from the current $1 million exemption. It will be increased to $2 million. The structure of this will be in the form of 2 bills. The first bill that will be presented on the House floor will be the corporate minimum and the inheritance tax linked together in the same bill. The second bill will be the rainy day fund and the one-time suspension of the corporate kicker. I think that's pretty much wraps it up.